Hello, and welcome to Fit for All Phases podcast. My name is Heather Anderson. I'm a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition coach. All right, so for episode number 1, let me give you just a little origin story. I think it's very cool to know people's origin stories because it makes up who they are today, of course. So I was born in 1973 in Providence, Rhode Island, and, had a fairly normal childhood. Have some siblings. One's 11 years younger than I am, and one's 7 years younger than I am. But we're all very close. We all still live in the same town. I live in Savannah, Georgia now. As a kid, I was active. I played softball. I rode my bike everywhere. However, didn't have any brakes put on my nutrition, so I ate a lot of junk food. I mean, a lot. But I was always a beanpole. So I grew up, like even through my teenage years, everyone saying, "Oh, Heather, the food just goes all to your feet. The calories go all to your feet." I have big feet, size 10. And so they never really, saw an issue because they did not see me gain weight. I was always a beanpole. So they thought it didn't matter. However, years of that is not good on your organs. All right. So let's fast forward. In the 90s, I was attending college. I wanted to be a high school English teacher. I loved my 10th grade English teacher, Mr. Shaw, rest in peace. And I really wanted to model how I was going to teach my students based on how he taught us. Anyway, so I was in college and I was also taking a weight training class. I got back into being more active, although still had a terrible diet. And I was in a weight training class with now a colleague and Jennifer. And I was on the pec deck machine. I'm sitting here, doing the pec deck. And I'm like, a little voice on one side says, "You should teach this." And the other little voice said, "Hey, no, you're here to teach kids how to love literature and learn from literature." So I said, okay, yes, I'm going to stick with the course. I'm going to stick with my plan. So fast forward, I graduate. I'm married, and I start teaching high school English at a local high school. And it was quite an experience. I started teaching in 99. In 2001, I had my daughter, Chloe. And I also discovered at that time that teaching, at least public high school, is not for me. So I quit. I came home, raised my daughter, did some jobs at night while, her dad worked during the day and I worked at night. And then we started to, when she was a little bit older, about 3 or 4, we started going to the local Y. I finally, for the first time ever, had a gym membership and I used it. They have a child watch. So I would take Chloe there and I would, take classes, and I thought classes were really fun. I had a really good time. And then, I'd pick her up. Well, it kind of dawned on me that I should have listened to that small voice in that pec deck machine in college. And so I decided, hey, you know what? I was born to teach, but maybe it's not English. Maybe it's this. So I got my certification in group classes and personal training. So in 2007, I became a personal trainer, and also I taught classes. I taught water aerobics and spinning and some indoor classes. Now, fast forward, 2015, I also had a bunch of personal training clients from 2007 to 2015. But in 2015, I found a podcast I'm sure everyone's familiar with, Mind Pump. And they forever changed the way I thought about my own fitness and nutrition and the fitness and nutrition of my clients. So I have been a student of theirs, I would say, since 2015. I've even been to the studio twice to get trained by them. So anyway, they are also, I guess you could say, the inspiration for starting this podcast, along with all the friends I have met along the way who also have podcasts. And hopefully one day we'll all do one together. But anyway, so I do everything differently now. Since 2015, I train myself differently. I train my clients differently. I eat differently. I encourage my clients to eat differently. The old thoughts of calories in, calories out, doesn't matter what it is you eat. I found that rule applies, but doesn't really apply. In 2015 also, I left my winning stint as a triathlete. I almost always made the podium. I loved it. I thought it was great, but I was also, starting to go through perimenopause. I was in that 40 to 49 age group, and it's a very competitive group. So I really hit the ground running. I trained endlessly, hours of running, hours of biking, hours of swimming, and weightlifting too. But weightlifting really did kind of take a back seat. But in 2015, I said, no more. I'm not spending hours training when I could just do 2 to 3 full body resistance training workouts a week and do a little cardio on the side. So that is where I am now. And occasionally, according to how busy my schedule is, I have to do split workouts, which is fine, because the main thing I preach is consistency. And I'm a firm believer, and I have to keep myself consistent. So whatever way I have to get it in, I will get my lifting in. Whatever way I have to get my cardio in, I will get my cardio in. I enjoy dancing. So Zumba class and my one night a month with some really good DJs, that's where I find my cardio. Plus, I also like walking my dog Reese. In addition to being an in-person trainer at Fit Gym Savannah and at the Islands YMCA, I also have hybrid clients. I do online training. And I have really tried to affect the space that I'm in, the age group that I'm in, the perimenopausal women, the menopausal women, the postmenopausal women, the aging women. So that's why I have called my website Fit for All Phases, because I really do want to address every phase of life. Training and nutrition and lifestyle and good habit forming that really does apply to every phase of life. And now that has led me here to making this podcast, and I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you for listening to my origin story, and we will get into further, more specific topics in my next episode. But thank you for joining me. It was lovely meeting you, and please like or share.